Good morning. We're back again. I saved you guys a little bit of uncomfortableness while I hammered on my shaft, but I decided that I was going to sit here and make you watch while I twisted my nuts.
Initiating launch sequence.
So, one nut. Pulling this axle, this was, whoa, we're facing me still. Hold on, here we go. Pulling this axle because of, it was bent. And we had to narrow the rear end. So, now we're just popping the backing plate off. Because we really don't need it. So the idea today is hopefully we'll get a bit of this rear end work done. I also want to fix a front part of the frame. And we will go from there. Alright. There we go, one off. Clean, I need this. I have to clean this stuff up before I can put it back in the car. I know the car is like a relative mess. Part of me though, when I'm putting stuff together, I gotta put it in clean. I don't know why, if that's a thing or not, but I just like it that way. So I'm gonna come in here and get all the rust off because we do want to mount our 4-link, and I want to mount our 4-link on good metal. Take the center section out. Two things: it'll make it easier to manipulate the rear end, and can check the gears and make sure we still have some. So I think I'm gonna work on that right now. Probably make a big mess spilling oil everywhere, which will be fun to watch. And then we'll see what the center section holds. Times like this, especially with this one, it did have that bent axle. With it having the bent axle in it, we've got it out of the car, so really why not just give it the extra time and change seals, change bearings, do what we can, so when we put it back together we at least know we're good and solid. So first things first, we'll do this. Remember, it's Triflo. And you can put it on your breakfast cereal. I don't know that it would taste fantastic, but you know, to each all. This one's gonna be fun to get forward. Or when that one's gonna be fun too. Why do I think I can finally use an impact socket on everything and find the 2 bolts? Oh, nope, yeah, that might go on there. We'll do those 2 first and see what happens. Oh yeah, no, that's way up in there. There's no way I'm getting at those. Well, let's try a couple other ones. How's he doing? I have an idea on how to do this that makes me seem more intelligent than I am. We'll see if it works. It involves taking off all the bolts except these top 3. I'm gonna just back them out and see if I can crack the bottom of the pan to, I guess I could do it with all of them, it doesn't really matter, it doesn't have to be those 3. But if I can to drain the diff fluid before I just end up dropping the whole thing into the pan, which is probably what I'll end up doing anyway. On to Mr. Impact. Now, those 2 ones are off. I didn't film it because there was much more swearing involved, and it's probably good in a family show. Triflo doing its job nicely. But the tag is on it still. All right, let's take this off there and see if we have any info left at all on here. So this is the tag that would have told us what the rear end was. It says 33.8. Bit of a number stamped in there still. Maybe I'll wire wheel it and see. I wonder if we can bring that back. Oh, wire wheel it. It's gonna shred what's left of it, but spray it with some cleaner maybe and see what the outcome is. Don't do this at home. Fully prepared to replace this yoke if I bend it. Maybe we'll get the old hammerable screwdriver out and see what it does. All right, I'm gonna work on this for a minute. I need the space with the camera is to maneuver. One thing I love about car stuff, and I always have, is you're always learning. Well, I'm always learning. Probably because I'm always doing things wrong, but that's how you learn. So, this busted up little tag, I don't know if you can make out anything on there, but I did my best to decode it using ye old interwebs, and I found out something interesting. Not being a big Ford guy, and always thinking, you know, Ford 9-inch, great rear end, which it is, don't get me wrong. I didn't know that there was an 8-inch that looks exactly like the 9-inch. And is basically the same thing, just smaller ring gear. Smaller axle tubes as well, same size axles. There's some defining points between an 8-inch and a 9-inch. One being that flat spot on the top. That tells you you've got an 8-inch. Same, there's a flat spot on the bottom. Now, this is where it gets weird. I don't know if you saw in the, or however Mark has edited this, but if you saw in the previous post, or a clip, maybe a minute or so before this, you saw that I couldn't get a ratchet on the bottom of my gear cluster here on either of the sides. Apparently that tells you you have a 9-inch, and the 8-inch ones are accessible with a socket. As well, this cross-hatching pattern is for a 9-inch. 8-inch has more of a honeycomb look to it. So I am pretty sure, because the tag says it's got an 8-inch ring gear in it. I'm just very unsure as to why it would have what's the quote-unquote 9-inch front section. If anybody out there has any insight into this, I'm not going to pretend to have any idea what I'm even talking about here. If you have any insight into that, or have seen something like this before, please comment. I would love to know why there's that mix sort of the two different rear ends in there. Somebody wrote 3.8 on the housing. I'm not sure if they were trying to write the gear ratio or not. I'm pretty sure that's not a factory handwriting. The tag says it's a 3.7, which only came in like a 71 pickup. 64 to 71, maybe it was. I'll have to look that back up. But they only did a 3.7 ratio in a 9-inch for like one specific model. I didn't look it up for 8-inch, so I'm not sure there. I am rambling at this point though. I'm gonna get back to trying to get that whole front section off. Might have to use a bit of heat. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'm gonna physically measure the ring gear once I get it out of there, but I'm pretty sure it's an 8-inch one. I don't think someone would just randomly put a tag on, and it does line up with some of the physical cues. So we'll see. We'll see what we've got. I know guys lie about inches all the time, so you know, maybe it's a 9-inch that got cold. Who knows? Or went swimming. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. And if you know anything, please comment below. This thing is now draining away. It's pretty old, but that's good. We didn't want it to be new, really. So we're interested to see what these gears look like inside. We're gonna let this go for a few minutes, and then I'll take the cluster out and see what's up. I think I might have lunch. Yeah, I'm gonna have lunch, and then I'm gonna see what my rear end will produce. Oh, from the car, I mean. Or do I? It looks drained. Held on by one bolt. We'll see if I can finagle that out of the car and up on to here. Finagle is a technical term, by the way, used by the ancient finaglers. It's a lost tribe somewhere in, you know, a place where they get things done by their own terms. There. We have one. Center section. Tight gears look great. There's no like crazy pitting anywhere. This is super smooth. Even the pinion bearing feels good. Alright, there's a bunch of numbers on here I'm gonna take that'll help us decode a little bit more as to what we've got going on. Check this out, Ron was here. We didn't get a lot filmed while he was here because it was kind of just straight up working, but we've got this quarter coming in quite nice, as well as the rear end is coming together. I started on my first piece of tie-in frame rail here. From this distance you can't see the welds, and that's a good thing. I saw the grinder around here. Where'd it go? Did you know, as just a side bit of info here, the grinder app is not for people who want to connect about doing bodywork. Well, I guess maybe it is, anyway, but much different than you think it was. Just as a heads up, learn from my mistakes. It's going to be warm. There we are. Look at that nice pieces of frame and everything. It was gonna be awesome. It's gonna be one of those cuts now where you saw me clean this up, but then when I actually put the piece in, it's gonna be over here because I just totally did the wrong side. But we're not gonna pretend like I did that. We're gonna just, it's all in editing. Editing? And we are at a whopping, really? Alright, well, top bend done with my chops on. I know it's 14, but we're gonna go 15. We'll save that. Choppy chop. Whoa, look at that. A big old flipperoo coming back around. Now, I did cut this long purposely because I do an angle on it. Well, maybe I will go to the inside. You just never know. I like different things about this side. I like that I can just line it right up there. But that throws off my angle now. This is the figuring out part of stuff. Hopefully there'll be a lot of editing in here, because I'm not sure what I want to do here. I love the look of that. Huh. Well, this side is just together different, isn't it? I guess that's how I'm gonna do this side here. So I'm gonna end it for today. We got a little chunk in there, a chunk in over there. Kind of tie the main part of the frame to the front part. Car's coming along. It's awesome. I love it. Even when things, well, I'm not even gonna say things don't go your way. They're definitely going our way. Just need to perfect some skills. That's what it's all about. Make sure that the main structural stuff is you know, looked at and done properly and whatnot, and checked over by a professional welder. But in the meantime, I get to cut my teeth at doing some stuff I truly enjoy. Alright, all. I'm going to sign off for now. for now. And we'll be back at you in a bit.